Hobbs and Amp. Shaw box office. This story contains spoilers for Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Hollywood spin-offs are a risky business. Warner Brothers. Fantastic Beasts. Now comes along Universal's, the first spin-off in the blockbuster Fast and Furious franchise. The movie headlined at the global box office over the August 24 weekend and faces little competition for weeks to come. But it will ultimately. On social media, Johnson has thanked his fans and co-stars for expanding the Fast and Furious universe. That's a sentiment. The spin-off, directed by David Leitch of Deadpool 2, gives the studio new characters to work with. In addition to they. Hobbs and Shaw is and marks his biggest box office debut in North America outside of the last 4 Fast and Furious installments. It's also the biggest. Excluding Hobbs and Shaw, the 8 Fast and Furious movies have reaped almost $5 billion in ticket sales at the global box office, making it Universal's biggest franchise. Furious 7. Not everyone is completely won over by Hobbs and Shaw so far. Hobbs. Spin-offs.
Raindrop, drip, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,